Hi, I'm Tom Stephenson and welcome to my YouTube channel. This particular video introduces you to construction business management, or what it takes to start, own, and operate a successful construction business. I grew up in a family-run construction business. I learned a couple of trades. I ran the business for a number of years, and I've been a professor of construction management for a long time, and I've been doing a lot of consulting with construction businesses, everything from renovation businesses to new home building businesses to the biggest construction businesses on the planet. And so I've learned a lot, and I think I'm in a unique spot to help in this particular area. The information on this series of videos was part of a construction business management course that I teach at my college. And I think it would be very, very helpful for you if you're in a trade, you want to start a business, if you are in a different sector, you want to enter the construction field. If you're working for somebody, how do they think when they're operating a construction business? What's the difference between an intrapreneur and an entrepreneur? There's a lot of things that we cover in this series, and there's quite a few short videos that will help you think about what it takes to be successful in this area. So, it doesn't matter if it's renovations of basements, kitchens, adding additions onto houses, or lowering basements, as is the case in this underpinning shot here, whether you're building new homes. Doesn't matter if you're in a developer. At some place or some process or some point in time, you had to start. And everybody starts somewhere. And so I think this is where this series will be very helpful for you. And so I think it's 33 videos I've got in this series. I had them counted and I've forgotten now. But anyways, I look at what it is to be an entrepreneur, how things change in the construction field and how to be apprised of that, how to find a sector that you would be interested in based on your background, your skill sets, and what your goals and desires are, and what does that mean as far as starting a business. We talk about having a business structure, the different types of business structure there are, incorporation, sole proprietorship, developing a business plan, but we develop a business plan to start a business, to get loans very often from banks because that's what they're going to require, but also to have a plan of the direction you want to take the business. Doesn't mean it's going to go exactly that way. We'll discuss that too. You have to be very open to opportunities that will come your way and how to capitalize on it. Some of the struggles as you grow the business, especially if you're from a trade background, how do I let go of the tools more? Because that's probably what you love to begin with, so that you can focus in on the business more. So yeah, having a direction and then having the perseverance, the grit, the discipline to work your way through that, because there's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be the external market that you don't really have that much control over, but it will present some opportunities to you. We'll talk about developing a strategy and what a strategy is and what tactics are and what's the difference. And of course, it means being adaptable and being able to iterate with things that are going on with your clients in the marketplace, with your business and with your life. We'll look at financials. What are they? A lot of people that start a business have no idea, what is exactly involved in an income statement, right? In my background, besides construction, I've done a business degree and an MBA, and I have a lot of thoughts on that particular area and how you can best apply it to being successful in business. What is overhead? What is profit? What are you trying to look for? Are you covering your overhead? A lot of small business construction people, they think they're getting a pretty good hourly rate, but they're not even covering their overhead. The vehicles you purchase, they're depreciating every day. And so you've got to be charging enough, and you've got to have enough respect for the work that you do, that you mark it up effectively so that you cover your overhead and you hit a desirable profit. Otherwise, you might as well just stay an employee and you don't have the same kind of risks. So those are some of the balances, things that we talk about in this course too. And so we've got a markup case. Markup is quite simply putting that overhead and profit based on whatever your direct costs are and ensuring that you have enough to cover your overhead costs if you hit your target sales for the year. All right, So we look at that for a number of these particular videos because it is quite involved, but I put it in a very simple way so that you can understand it. That's what I'm really pretty good at, is trying to take something that some people might want to make overly complex and simplify it, right? And most importantly, make it applicable. Make it applicable that you can use it. So we look at all of those, and especially I would say video number 7B, looking at return on investment. You know, what is leverage? Why do people build custom homes on speculation? What's the difference between a custom home and a house built on speculation, production building? What are some of the nuanced differences to that marketplace, and how developers can really sort of capitalize with return on investment, but there's risks there. And so, you know, if you're going to take a risk, there better be a good reward. If you're taking risks and there's not much of a reward, again, I'm going to say that's where it's better to work for somebody and let them take the risks. Marketing. How do you position your company? How do you market your company? Yes, we can do it by word of mouth, but that takes a long time. And so what are some of the things that we can do to better position ourselves and market ourselves and market our business? Something that, you know, a lot of small business owners don't do. Now, they do good work very often if they stay in business a long time, and word of mouth helps them to sustain a business. So the question is, at what point do you want to sustain the business, or do you want to keep growing the business? And that kind of depends on your intrinsic values and where you want to take the business. And so there's not a right or a wrong answer to that, but it is really getting to know yourself and what you want to do and where you want to go with the business. So we look at a number of areas. These are all marketing aspects for how to effectively run the business. And so, yeah, and you can see I've got a lot of stuff on sales and negotiating. We're all selling and we're all negotiating all the time. You negotiate with your kids what time they have to go to bed. If you're a student in college, you are negotiating with your team what's going to be the topic of our project. If you're taking a course like this and you're working in a group and you've got to put together a business plan, well, what's the business going to look like? That's a part of negotiating, right? And so what are some of the traits of successful negotiation? We'll talk about something called BATNA, Best Alternative to a Negotiated Agreement. You don't want to be too desperate with things. You may take a job that you think you want, but you've lowballed it in such a way that you wish you never had it. So these are important things to consider when you want to run a successful business. If you're not thinking about those things, it's pretty painful to be doing work on a project that you're not going to make any money on, and it's taking a lot of your time, effort, and focus away from other opportunities. That's what we call opportunity cost, right? So we think about those. We talk about rewards. How do we treat our employees? How do we engage our employees? How do we make sure we don't disengage our employees? What do we look for when we're hiring, right? It's a lot easier if you've hired people that are highly passionate about what they do and they're motivated, and making sure you don't do things that disengage them than trying to engage and motivate somebody who's not that motivated. But still, there are tools, techniques that we can use that can be very helpful in this way. It's really important that you hire the right people. And if you're a small business and that first person you hire, they're practically 50% of your business. They're going to be interacting with your customers, and take it from there, right? It's why people like Steve Jobs, spend a lot of time interviewing people. It's why people like Elon Musk spend a lot of time on those first employees. It's like you can go through history with entrepreneurs, the best entrepreneurs, they spend a lot of time at who they hire, from Rockefeller to Carnegie, just move on down the list. And so, of course, we also have to think about some of the regulatory requirements that we have to be able to fulfill. Now, that one you got to look at a little bit from where you are compared to where I am, which country, those types of things, but it will fire you up and get you thinking about those things. And of course, leading teams. So at the very end, I go through the whole sort of process of what we talked about, because it's really a lot of little different nodes that are connecting over time. So a lot of these nodes, it's like any course that I teach, there's a lot of nodes, and I hope that by the end, basically these neural networks start to fire and connect, so that then you can sort of see how this collectively can lead to a successful business. Because it's kind of like the spokes on a bicycle wheel. I talk about that in my project management courses that I teach and site management courses. You know, there's a lot of things. It's not one thing, it's a lot of things. And if you're thinking about a bicycle wheel, if some of the spokes aren't quite tightened properly, the wheel wobbles, the business wobbles. And we want the business to actually not wobble. We want it to be able to go in a nice flow, like you're doing a triathlon or something. You're cycling along and it's just going in a nice flow. So those are things to consider. I hope that this will be a great series for you. I'm going to load the PowerPoint slides in the description. So I'll basically provide a link to the PowerPoint slides if you want to refer to them. And I hope it gives you some good ideas for starting a business. Of course, do your own research. Make sure that whatever you're doing, if you're starting a business, you're doing it in such a way that you're mitigating and minimizing the risks that may be involved, because there's a lot to running a business. So I'm Tom Stephenson. I hope you enjoy this course. Check my playlist. I have on the playlist, I'll be leaving basically the list of videos for this in the description below, but check my playlist and you'll be able to also see under the construction business management all the videos for different courses that I actually have. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you out there. Bye for now.